Here I am in London for episode 7 of Inspiration Nation. Behind me is Trafalgar Square. It's one of the most popular squares in the United Kingdom, if not the world. But if you swing things around a little bit, behind me is the National Gallery where 2,300 paintings are on display from the likes of Da Vinci, Van Gogh, Renoir, Monet, you name it. And it's the perfect backdrop for this episode because you're about to meet some very talented artists. One of them, my dear friend Abby. I met her last year in Turkey. She's a former De Keyser and Friends Fellow, and her art really portrays a special bond she has with somebody. Then a little later, you're about to be speechless because you're going to meet the man who taught me how to do this. Be trapped in a glass box, and he will guaranteed make you laugh, and with that, I will send you on your way to be inspired by art.
Speak 1,000 words in a picture and 1,000,000 in a memory. See a thought lost in your heart and watch an emptiness fill your world. Let yourself be lost in your picture and your memory speak out loud. Feel your thoughts that you thought were lost in your heart and see the world in your picture.
I wanted to introduce Abby not just because she is a dear friend of mine, but because she's actually a very talented artist, and her dream is to make art that captures the essence of movement. And in the process, I think she actually captured something even more poignant because all of her art is inspired by her sister.
My sister Cheryl, she was born with a disability. They never really found out what was wrong with her, but they did plenty of tests. But it also felt sort of cruel to put her through all any testing just to find nothing or no cure. Just something in her brain never really developed. But she still has a good quality of life anyway, so we're happy with that. This is the way that she is, and this is why we love her.
Doctors have never been able to diagnose Cheryl. She's 33 years old, but has the mental and physical capability of someone who's about 1 or 2 years old. Cheryl lives in a care home now, where Abby visits often to help brush her sister's hair and keep her company. Cheryl is in a wheelchair because she just doesn't have quite enough muscle coordination to walk on her own. So Cheryl uses her hands and body to communicate. And in these movements, Abby was moved to make art about her sister.
I was taking pictures of my sister for just a photography project and trying to get inspired by that. And the pictures I was taking, black and white pictures, and I'm like, I saw that when she moved, because she moves so fast all the time, that there was a blurriness. And I was like, I want to do this. I want to find a way of showing movement in a picture because it's not really done. And I was like really inspired by the way it was different, and no one else in my class had my sister, obviously, so it was different.
Abby sketched her sister Cheryl for a year, and she was inspired to take her artwork even further. Abby began painting more and painting other things that inspired her, like landscapes. Abby then completed her Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, and now she wants to take it all from the canvas to the screen.
I have this idea of screen dance, which is, again, moving on from producing the still image and the movement to combine them both. And I've been using photography and film throughout my school and university, and I found that I love dance and I love art, so I wanted to combine them both together.
This was Abby's first screen dance video. It's a fairly new form of art, combining the artistic elements of dance and film. Abby wants to start her own screen dance company and then pay tribute to the woman who inspired it all by involving people with disabilities in her work.
They've got a lot to offer us in a way that they move differently to us. It works kind of well because with people with disabilities, you think that you can't dance. Well, you can dance. Anyone can dance.
Like any artist, Abby has struggled to find a market and the resources to make a living from her work. So for now, making dance for screen and paintings of her sister is still a hobby, but Abby refuses to stop painting what inspires her.
That's what makes it more interesting, to have more of a challenge. So for me, painting or drawing my sister or anybody is never going to be a problem. It's always going to be interesting, a task, a goal.
Watching Abby and Cheryl together, it really made me smile because the two of them, you can tell they just have this special bond. The one that can't be explained in words, and I think that that's what Abby captures in her artwork, and to me that is what art's supposed to be about, capturing an emotion.
When you're making a piece of art, if it's about a person, then you're going to have this connection with this person. I want to show that and our connection and the emotion that's between us as sisters.
What I like about mime is that you can create something from nothing. You can make the impossible or the invisible visible. I love the way people react to something that everyone understands.
He's talking about laughter, and Richard Knight has made a career out of it. As a professional mime, he puts a smile on people's faces without even saying a word, and he's shown me that if you do what you love, success will follow. Richard has worked as a mime for 15 years. He's performed all over the world, trained with the best in Paris, and won countless awards for his outside-the-box approach to mime. And it all comes naturally.
I ended up becoming a mime, being dyslexic, and basically at school I couldn't really read, I couldn't do maths, numbers became all over the place. And I think dyslexia is a bit like being blind. When you lose your eyesight, your hearing becomes so highly tuned. Being dyslexic, if you can't get words or numbers or abstract things, something else becomes highly tuned. For me, it was physicality of movement, not just people, but objects in space.
Richard started practicing at home, and his friends and family told him mime was his calling, but he didn't listen and decided he'd take the road more traveled.
I mean, I got to a stage where I thought, no, this is too easy. I'm going to do something else, which is a challenge. I'm going to be an actor. And so I went to drama school, studied classical acting. I found the voice, I found languages, accents hard, text was hard. And then I just realized I'm an idiot, and I kept on falling over and people were laughing. And I thought, actually, that's what I want to do. And I went through everything because I couldn't believe it's that easy. I just could not believe. I don't know why. I just couldn't believe it. It can't be that simple, but it feels like I'm not working.
Richard loves his work, but that doesn't mean his shows magically create themselves. This 6-minute routine took Richard 18 months to develop. The idea? Mr. Handyman takes down the glass box and the wind machine a mime left behind.
A lot of the time I was working on that show, I wanted to give up. It's not the physical exhaustion, it's the mental exhaustion of understanding, did that work? Why did it work? And you go, oh, I don't really want to do this anymore. Is there another way I could make a living? Can I do a simpler show? I know, I'll talk. So at the end of the day, what keeps me going is an audience reaction and a good show.
So what does it take to put on a good show? As I found out, there are 3 mime musts.
Now let's imagine there's a brick wall, so then you go relax, tense.
Like I'm hitting something.
Like you're hitting something, resistance. Yeah, like when you actually do something by ink, that's good. So expect you're going to tell the story with your face, that's good, yeah, and your stomach as well. And then you do the opposite, spit it out. And then pull, backwards lunge. That's it, back hit, arms forward. That's it. Good.
Oh, that's tiring.
So
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I'm ready to hit the street.
Come on then.
I was kidding, but Richard wasn't, so I was forced onto the streets of downtown London. My performance earned a 10 from Richard, but my other audience wasn't quite as impressed. Still can't believe Richard was a street mime for 7 years. I can barely handle a few minutes without getting butterflies. So if you think mime isn't a serious career, think again. And most of all, if you've got a passion for something, it's time to speak up.
If you've got a talent for something, don't take it for granted. Do what you do, work hard at it, and don't give up.
Three words that would describe me are outdoorsy, active. I like being in the open. I like being in the sun. I like getting a tan. I like playing sports, although I'm not really good at any of them. I just enjoy having them. And I'm also energetic, so I get excited about stuff in a good and a bad way. The sun, if it's out. If not, the task I will do that day. So knowing that I have to do something and knowing that I can do something gets me out and keeps me alive. Well, my biggest challenge at the moment is finding out what I really want to do in my life. So I'm here trying to figure out what I like and what I don't like. Because I enjoy doing so many things, but I don't know whether I really want to do them for the rest of my life. I'm studying international business administration at the moment, which is maybe not really the area I want to go into. But I've also specialized in human resource management, and I'm also volunteering in the ambulance service. So these are kind of they're going in the same direction, but not really. So I'm trying to figure out how to fit all of these together and turn it into a job I can make a living with. If I could choose, I would definitely say go and travel and see all the parts of the world and try and get as much in as possible and see all there is to see out there, all the adventures, and try not to make compromises. Inspiring to me is listening to people when they're telling me about their life and their stories and their adventures, because it shows me that there is so much more out there, that there are so many more things that we can see and learn and experience.
While you were all busy finding inspiration in the show, I made my way down to the River Thames. There's a gorgeous view. You've got the London Eye here in the background. It's a perfect place to say goodbye because I'm headed back to the Philippines now to catch up with the De Keyser and Friends Fellows. And with that, I will leave you with a few glimpses of London. And thank you for watching. See you in Sydney.